Good morning, good afternoon, wherever you're at. Let me get some light going in here for everybody. Righty. How we doing? How we doing this morning? I have a hard out today. We have a meeting coming up at noon. So I have a very hard out today. If somebody could help me watch the time, sometimes I get so locked into the stream that I forget all about the time. And that's okay. That's okay. My goal today was kind of dive into the new site. If you go to doinksports.com, you will see the new site over there. We're making it free for a limited time here while we iron out some issues. If you guys do see some issues, if you guys see any issues on your process or using the site that you normally do, come down here to this Discord link, join the Doink Sports family. Click on that Discord link. It'll take you in the Discord. There are channels in there. You can post issues or if you need help with something. I'm pretty active in there. Obviously, I won't be as active while I'm on the live stream here, but that'll be the best way to get in touch with the devs. Very, very responsive devs and founders in the Doink Sports Discord. But yeah, if you go to the regular Doink site, all of the tools will be available for you out today. Out today. What's up, Michael? Good morning, man. I guess it is morning for you on the West Coast, right? And today I just wanted to go. I kind of wanted to deep dive some stuff today. Kind of look at some pitch mix stuff. And you're gonna see some really interesting stuff for a guy like Cade Cavalli today. So like especially if we go into what is it? Go back. So if we go into a batter versus pitcher stuff, this is actually extremely interesting. So I actually wanted to highlight Cade Cavalli today. Take a look at this. He has been incredible. Now we have to keep in mind that this is an extremely small sample size. And it's likely to come up some, right? But he has had an excellent start against left-hand hitters. Take a look at this analysis against lefties, right? Giving up one homer to a lefty so far. He's really having the bulk of his struggles against right-handed batters. Just look at the difference here. So this is right hand, swap over to left hand, and he has been incredible. Incredible. So if we go back, right, if we go back to the main screen here, and kind of look at a game overview, this will kind of show it to you as well. Now, it's not necessarily that he's just striking out everybody from the left-hand side of the plate, but just a 152 batting average against lefties to start his career. Now, again, just 22 innings pitched this season. Yo, good morning, Trevor. How are you? How are you? Welcome in. Welcome in. Once again, guys, Doink3 is available on the site. Just go to the regular doinksports.com website. It's available for free today. If you find any issues or bugs that you're not used to seeing, or if you have any questions on how to see certain things, feel free to comment in the chat, and I can walk you through how to navigate the new stuff. I've been beta testing. Nice, nice, nice. Yeah, core group of guys were beta testing. We appreciated them as well. Uh, Provided some great insight on some changes and some fixes that we needed. But so here's another thing. So we talked about Cade Cavalli being really good against lefties. Well, let's look at the lineup today. Yankees are going to have 7 lefties in the lineup today. Just Judge and just Anthony Volpe in there today, right-handed hitters. So it's interesting. I don't know if there's enough of a sample size to really say it's a lock, right? He would have to pitch more, and you've got some serious wind blowing out to that short porch and right today. So I would just take it with a grain of salt. He's got a 15 and a half outs line today. I would be interested in that at plus money. I mean, you're getting plus 142 on that today on Profit X. And I mean, we can even look a little bit deeper, right? And if you do want to look at a better view of the odds page, just click on their name and then go to this odds section here. And you can kind of get a better overview as well. And it'll show you an average book odds as well. So if we look at outs, we're seeing an average book odds across the board at plus 118. We're getting that at plus 142 on Profit X today. highly recommend if you want to take this, make sure you're shopping your books. Plus 142 is a fantastic number. Super low juice as well on that play. Get a swig here. I had to go with the Mountain Dew. Usually I'm drinking water on the live streams. But man, I saw that Mountain Dew today and it was just calling my name. Sometimes you have to give in. Sometimes you have to give in. So this 15 and a half outs recorded is something that I'm probably going to bet as well. Let's actually track that bet using Doink Sports Tools. So we can come down here and we can press bet, go right here, and we can kind of put our bet amount in. So let's say we do $100. Why'd I take this bet? Data supports it. You don't have to put a note in there, but this is just for you. I haven't logged in. Oh, pain, 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 pain. Nobody text me. Nobody text me. Nobody text me. I'll send you to the authorities. That's just a joke. I don't really care. Did I type the code in wrong? All right. Much better, much better. So let's try that again. That now we come in here. Let's say we wanted to put $100 on this and track the bet. Now our bet's going to be tracked for us. Now our bet's going to be tracked here, and as you can see, we had some other bets that we tracked throughout the other stream. This was on August 21st, so this was last week. We had Tatis at even money, Pages screwed us, and Garcia. Oh man, Garcia on this day had a super hard line out, like 107 exit velocity, barreled baseball, 770 expected batting average on it. Super painful. But we've added Cavalli in there. I really like that look. Really like that look, and I'll just go back through it to kind of show why I picked this one today. Obviously, he has no data against New York. Last 2 times out, been really good. 21 and 18 outs. 90 pitches and 95 pitches. I don't think the pitch count's going to be an issue today. They're going to let him pitch as long as he's doing well. But I want to look at the batter versus pitcher stuff. If you're just joining us, we're taking a look at Cade Cavalli's left-hand batter splits. He's been extremely good this season thus far. Again, small sample size, but look at it against right-handers. So, like, if you wanted to take a guy like Aaron Judge today, hey, you can never go wrong taking Aaron Judge, but the data would really back it up today as well. This would be a day I would take Aaron Judge. I don't bet him a lot. Probably should. But let's just look. So he's really got a deep pitch arsenal, right? Which is probably a key to some of his early success, right? He's throwing 4 pitches at a pretty good clip, and 3 of those at 25 or more percent. He's really, really going deep into that pitch arsenal. But against right-handers, that sinker is getting hit pretty hard. Judge handles the sinker. What doesn't Judge handle, right? Fastball 524 ISO. So, Judge is obviously going to be a good play any day, right? But I think it stands to reason that if damage is done to Cavalli today, it's going to be by Aaron Judge if they decide to pitch to him. A couple other games I wanted to highlight today. And in another Discord I'm in, we were kind of on Drew Rasmussen today. Drew Rasmussen kind of went through a phase there with Tampa Bay where they were really limiting his innings, limiting his pitch count. As you can see here, 9, 6, 6, 12, 15. They were really limiting that pitch count. And you can see here, the pitch count is kind of all over the place. Did get thrown 91 in his most recent start against New York. But at 15 and a half outs today, I think that's a really, really interesting look against this Cleveland team. As you can see, just teams are really, pitchers are able to go deep against this Cleveland team, right? 9 out of the last 10 starting pitchers have gone over 15 and a half outs against this team. And way over at that, right? 21, 21, 21, 21, 18, 18. Who is this? Edward Cabrera, 16 outs, just got there. So what I wanted to do was I wanted to look at some of the pitch arsenal stuff for Slade, Sassoni, Cacconi. I think it's Sassoni. I'm not sure. Um, this guy's batted ball metrics against left-hand hitters is pretty rough. You could just look here. Even right-handers are getting to him as well. But I think you're going to start to see some late season regression for Slade. We can filter this by at-bats as well for a better look. His fastball is pretty decent, right? Fastball, curveball is kind of his bread and butter. It seems like if he has to go to anything other than the fastball and cutter, that's or fastball and curveball, that's where he starts to get in trouble, right? 294, 294. If he has to go to these ancillary pitches here, seems like he's getting himself into trouble. So what we can do here is we can see if we see any correlation sticking out. Mainly, I want guys that can hit the four seam and the curveball well, because those are the two mainstays, right? Four seam hits it really well, and Chandler Simpson's not a guy that's going to hit for power anyway. Curveball, not really hitting that too well. So let's go to the next one here. Andy Diaz. He's a right-handed batter, so let's kind of see. I think when I looked at this against right-handers, he's going to go four seam, slider, sinker. Four seam, slider, sinker. So his slider is getting hit really hard by right-handers, right? Yandy Diaz handling that pitch pretty well. 288 with a 192 ISO, also handling the four seam fastball very well. And then sinker 287. So I think Yandy Diaz is a strong look today. I think he's a strong look today for total bases. I wouldn't necessarily say a home run. Now they are in Tampa Bay, so it's a minor league ballpark. And if it's super hot out today, we'll check the weather as well. Brandon Lau always going to look good, right? I mean, just look at all the green there. I'm never going to fault anybody for taking Brandon Lau on any given day. Let's see. So four seam and curveball. Four seam absolutely crushing that pitch. Curveball, really good ISO. Not really hitting the curveball for average, but he's hitting that good ISO number that we look for a home run. What was the third pitch? So a changeup, handling the changeup well. Really like Brandon Lau. And as you start to see that this is tracking well, we can also come back and say, well, if we like a lot of the Tampa Bay Rays batters, why don't we take Slade's hits allowed or possibly earned runs allowed or under strikeouts, stuff like that. We can start to draw those type of conclusions as well. Junior Caminero, I kind of looked at him early this morning. I think he's going to be a good option. Um, really handling the slider really well. And that's what we like to see. That's what we like to see. Junior Caminero, perhaps the strongest look early right now. So you look at that slider, which seems like Slade goes to that pitch a lot to get these guys out, right? 15 strikeouts on that slider. He's using it 30% of the time. He still has a 250 ISO to that pitch. And Junior Caminero, 365 ISO with 6 homers off that pitch. 5 homers off the sinker, which he's going to feature 15% of the time. Four seam fastball, 397 ISO with 8 home runs. So the bulk of Junior Caminero's home runs have come off of this pitch mix. Does that make sense to you guys? The bulk of Junior Caminero's home runs have come off of this pitch mix. So that's another thing we look for. Really strong play, Junior Caminero today for a home run. We can go a little deeper as well. Nothing's going to stick out incredibly. Slider, struggling to the slider, which he doesn't throw to lefties all that much. It's mostly a curveball to lefties. Curveball a little bit better. Probably want to stay away from that one. Pereira, not enough at-bats to really get any good data there. Jake Mangum, I kind of need to see if he's had any kind of recent form because his numbers have been really good. His numbers are really good. Four-seam fastball, hitting it for average, not a ton of power. A lot of singles, right? A lot of singles on the sinker. Slider 226, not going to see that a ton. It's going to mostly see the curveball, which he's batting 500 against guys. So Jake Mangum, if you wanted to take a hits, runs, RBIs, total bases, we can look at all that stuff here shortly. Carson Williams, super small sample size as well, handling the four-seam fastball though, right? 1 for 1 with a home run off that fastball. We see that 266 ISO. Let's actually look. Clicked the wrong game. Let's look a little bit deeper here at these props. Let's see how these guys have been playing of late. Okay, so this is in Cleveland. This is in Cleveland, by the way. Wind wind blowing in significantly, and it's a little bit cool. So I thought this was in Tampa Bay. It is not. It is not. This is going to be at Progressive Field with the wind blowing in. So maybe we don't get as many home runs as we initially thought. Maybe it's more of a bases look today. And let's just see. Let's just see kind of how these guys have been playing. Chandler Simpson, just hits for average, 305 guy. Love taking his stolen bases. Let's actually look at that. Stolen base at plus 172. Not enough of an edge there, in my opinion, to really take that. Especially, let's look at it this way. Yeah, so he would need to hit this at 37% clip for it to be profitable. Only hitting it at 30%. So we're going to stay away from it today. Yandy Diaz, really good run of form coming into this game today. At least 2 hits, runs, RBIs in 8 out of the last 10, a single in 7 out of the last 10, an RBI in 7 out of the last 10. That's stuff you love to see. Brandon Lau, pretty similar as well, right? 3 homers in his last 10. Yandy actually 2-game homer streak as well. Junior Caminero, what can you say about this guy other than he's just broke out in a big way? 2 homers in his last game, a homer. So he's got 3 homers in his last 2 games, right? Just 11 total bases here. I don't think you can go wrong with Caminero today. Josh Lowe hitting okay. Pereira. So Mangum is coming in with a halfway decent run of form here. I would really like to take this hits, runs, RBIs at plus 110 today. Is this Novig? Yeah, so this is going to be Novig plus 110. And, I mean, you're getting this stuff at minus 120 on FanDuel. Minus 120, minus 115. This is a really, really profitable line at Novig today. So what I want to do is I'm going to bet Junior Caminero. And I'm going to shop his lines a little bit, see what we want to take. I just don't think you can go wrong with it today. Even money for total bases there. Love that. Little not bad juice at all. Hits, probably don't want to take that. I would probably take this. RBIs plus 136. I like that a lot. You're getting a 113 line there. Where's home run? Plus 290. That's incredible. Probably too low for me to take that. I probably would just take this hits, runs, RBIs. Hits, runs, RBIs 1.5 at minus 140. Would probably play that. An average book out of minus 155. Would definitely play that on DraftKings today. We'll throw that onto our bet slip. And if you guys have any plays that you want to look at, feel free to let me know. We'll just keep labbing this way if you want. Oh, we got Braves at Marlins. And again, guys, we have a hard out today. We've got a meeting at 12 o'clock. So I've got to cut this at 11:55 today, sharp. All right, let's take a look at some BVP stuff here. Listen, I'm going to give you guys a pro tip. If you see Ryan Gusto on the mound, just take lefties against him. Look at this. This is just dreadful. He is dreadful against lefties. Now, Profar doesn't profile all that well against his particular pitch mix, like four-seam fastball, 229, curveball, 348. So he's handling the curveball really well. So if he sees a bulk of those, he's going to be okay. 23% of the time. It's just the fastball kind of worries me. You're only batting 229 against the fastball. I think we can find a little bit better statistics there to bank today off of. And then you have a guy like Matt Olson, right? Handles the cutter, sinker, changeup, four-seam well. The only downside to Matt Olson today is that curveball. He's going to use that curveball quite a bit. Just batting 146 really has struggled against the curveball this season. But Four seam fastball, 272, 243 ISO. He's going to feature that fastball. Then the changeup and the cutter. Changeup 298, cutter really crushing. So it's tough because I think Gusto could come out and just pepper Matt Olson with these curveballs today, and he could struggle. But I'm not going to fault anybody for taking Matt Olson. Ronald Acuna. And let's kind of look. We can also look at the right hand stuff. The fastball has been really good against right hand hitters. When you take Ronald Acuna, you really want a a harder throwing pitcher, right? Does that make sense? Like Acuna really handles, as you can see, the cutter, the sinker, the fastball. Handles those kind of pitches that don't move a ton, right? Slider and curveball struggling the most. He's really struck out quite a bit on the four seam fastball. Probably not a day I would take Ronald Acuna, but I can't fault you for it. All right, Drake Baldwin handling the sweeper well. He's not going to see that. Curveball, just 238. I'm telling you, even though Gusto really struggles, these guys have not hit these pitches well. Ozzy Albies hit a home run last night, which was crazy because I saw Ozzy Albies go deep, and I'm just like, there is no way this guy went deep. I actually dove into the data, and it made a lot more sense than it did on the surface. That's kind of why I'm looking at it this way today, so I don't overlook a potential good play. Does that make sense? So I don't overlook anything. Again, four seam fastball, 221 ISO. It's a pretty good ISO, right? For a guy like Ozzy Albies who hasn't hit a ton of homers. Now, if we had Sandy Alcantara's main two pitches were four seam fastball and slider. Two of the best pitches that Ozzy Albies is hitting for power this season. So we don't really have that correlation today, so we can go to the next. Michael Harris. And when I was doing my initial research today, Michael Harris stuck out, and namely because of the curveball. Absolutely seeing that pitch well, 353 average, 206 ISO, and then to the ancillary pitches, right? To the ancillary pitches, 255 and 250 to the four seam and changeup, pretty halfway decent ISO, and then the cutter. So if he sees anything of his main pitch mix, Michael Harris is going to do good. Michael Harris has been really hot as well, so I think Michael Harris today is going to be an interesting play. Nacho Alvarez probably going to skip over that one. Jake Fraley. So I guess the Braves picked up Jake Fraley. Did not see this. Interesting. He is in the lineup today. Okay. Jake Fraley debut. Does he go off in his debut? Does he go off on his debut? Sweeper, slider, absolutely torching that slider too, but he's just not going to see it. When you're looking at this, it's like, okay, if he sees a cutter, he probably hits a single. Same thing for the fastball. So, if you wanted to take him for a hit, sure. Brujan, not going to bet that one. Let's kind of look at some of these odds. Let's look at Michael Harris. He was the guy I was really looking at here. So yeah, and so this is where you have to make a decision. So he was scorching hot there, and now in his last 4 games has just fallen off a cliff again, back to normal Michael Harris ways. Multiple strikeouts in these games. So it's super interesting, right? I can see both sides of it. The law of averages would tell me that 4 games in a row he's quote unquote due, right? But Michael Harris can go on these cold streaks. We've seen it for most of this season. So that one's a little bit scary. I won't lie. Let's take a deeper look though. Total bases plus 125. Stolen base at plus 520 is really interesting. If it were me today, I'm taking 1.5 hits, runs, RBIs over there on DraftKings Pick 6 fantasy site. If you guys aren't over there, it's a really strong place to play peer to peer. Because let's take a look at this. You're getting an average book odd of minus 136 on his hits, runs, RBIs. And you're getting a fixed payout over there of minus 112. So it's just making this play plus EV. Take it over there. So I'll actually bet that. I like that Harris stolen base for 550 for real, JT. I mean, at plus 520, and let's look at it, right? Like look at this in other books, right? So you're getting plus 450 as an average book odds. Like let's look across the board. Plus 450, plus 490, plus 450. And you're getting that plus 510. Actually, it actually literally just moved. So that's another really cool thing about the new website, guys. These lines will update live. So we we missed out on 40 points of value there for Michael Harris. But that's why it's important to get your research in early because these lines move all day long. I believe Marlins are one of the league worst for stolen bases against. Yeah, absolutely. And I think Michael Harris actually probably wasn't this series actually. Probably wasn't this series, but we can look. Yeah, so like, you look at these long odd home run plays, right? But if you get a stolen base with a guy with stolen base upside and you're getting like home run level odds for a guy that actually does have stolen base upside, let's take a look. So okay, so he did steal one. Okay, I wasn't crazy. How did he get on base here? I guess he was hit by a pitch. Okay, because when I was looking at it at this view, I was like, well, he hadn't gotten on base. There's no way he could steal, but he got hit by a pitch in this one, I believe. So he did steal a base there. So if he's getting on 2 out of the last 10, and let's see what we would need to be profitability wise here. So this is what we can change it to. We need Michael Harris to hit this line at a 16% clip for it to be profitable for us long term, right? So we see it's 20% clip, and we can look at it. If we did season, I wonder if it'll change. So for the whole season, it's just below profitable, right? Based on his averages, we need it to be at 16%. He's at 14% this season. Ramirez is the worst catcher ever for stolen bases. Yeah, Ramirez is in there to hit the baseball, right? Not necessarily to throw guys off, throw guys out. But I really like that. I think I'm going to add this even at plus 510. I absolutely hate that we missed that. I absolutely hate that we. How does one? How does one fix this here? All right. Site just crashed on me. Well, you got a sneak peek picture of my wife there. Me and my wife at our wedding. I didn't realize I was on my whole screen view there. Where were we at? Where were we at? So I don't know that I necessarily want to do that again and break the whole site. Again, guys, this is another reason why the site is going to be free today. With pushing out a brand new site update, you outkicked your coverage. I appreciate it, man. I appreciate it. Yeah, yes, my wife is very beautiful, very lucky. I have no idea why she decided to mess around with me, especially at the time that we met. I was going through a lot, wasn't a very good person. So she really helped me become the man that I am today, to be honest with you. I appreciate that, JT. Appreciate that. It's only 11:30 here. We can dive into the next game. I don't know if there was any Miami guys that stuck out to me. I do want to double check it though. I just think at some point Joey Wentz has got to regress. Like he has just statistically not been a good pitcher, and now all of a sudden for the Braves he's just good. Um, I think it stands to reason that at some point he's going to regress back to the mean. Let's see. Otto Lopez. Wow, he has actually really struggled against lefties this year. You would think, and see, that's the thing. You immediately go into it and you say, "Oh, he's a right-handed hitter against a left-hand pitcher. He's got the advantage, right?" Well, he's really struggled this season. Really struggled this season against lefties. Jacob Marcy. Okay, this was one of the ones that I did look at in my preliminary research. Now, granted, this is a super small sample size. Super small sample size, and yes, Michael Wagaman was another one. Was another one as well. Is he actually in the lineup today? Is he actually in the lineup today? He is. Okay. I just wanted to make sure because sometimes left on left, these managers don't let these guys play. So I wanted to double check that he is in the lineup. Um, let's go back to this one. Super small sample size, of course, but seems to be handling those pitches pretty well. I wouldn't mind taking Mr. Jacob Marcy today. Somebody said Wagman, and I actually did do some preliminary research, and Wagman is going to be good today. He is going to be good today, especially because you're going to see that four-seam fastball 50% of the time, right? Almost half the pitches that Joey Wentz is throwing is going to be that four-seam fastball. But honestly, just a 103 ISO so far. I mean, it's just incredible to me to look at. But 341 ISO for Eric Wagaman. That's pretty impressive. That's pretty impressive. So he's going to go to that, let's see, four-seam cutter curveball. So cutter, meh. Curveball handling pretty well. Timothy Anderson reposted the stream. Absolutely love that name. Appreciate the repost, guys. Reposts are always appreciated. It helps more eyes get on the live stream, more eyes get on the product as well. Again, the site is going to be free today for you to use. As we work out some kinks, iron out some bugs. If you do see some, please let us know, guys. We can't fix something if we don't know about it, right? So just bear with us as we're working through some of that stuff. If you scroll down to the bottom of any Doink Sports page, you'll see join the Doink Sports family. Obviously, if you're here on X or YouTube, you've already subscribed, but you can click our YouTube subscribe there, follow the X account, and really joining the Discord is an important way. It's a good way to be a part of the community, and the devs and founders are also in that Discord as well, and they're super responsive. You can post your issues or suggestions or even your plays or your takes in there, and it's really good. Oh, and if you guys were wondering, there you go, promo code. Now, the site's free today, so there's no need to use it right now. But when the site is paid, you can use my promo code Reeves at checkout. Get 25% off of your first purchase as well. I do want to check and see if there's any kind of value we can get from like Marcy or. And they really haven't let him play a whole lot against lefties. But he's been good. Why wouldn't you just throw him out there? That doesn't make a lot of sense. Got plus 102 there for a single. Total bases at plus 145. How about Eric Wagaman? So his total base, and let's see if we can shop this. So 165 for Wagaman, and then you get 145 for Marcy. So I wouldn't mind either one of those, to be honest with you. Total bases, yeah, plus 145. You're getting plus 135 on DraftKings. There's not too big of a difference here. I know Fanatics is super quick to limit people. People get limited over there in like a day or two. So I would understand. I think it's fine to take it at like 140 on Hard Rock, 140 on Caesars there. Not that good on Profit X today. That's interesting. That's interesting. Typically, Profit X will give you a little bit better of a line. Let's check Mr. Owagaman here. Total bases. So his was at 1.5. Is there a way, and if any of the devs are in here, so if we're on this odd screen, is there a way that we can shift the alt stuff here? So it's like if I'm on the odd screen, I can't see 1.5 bases. Does that make sense? So that might be something we can put in with the team so that we can see that 1.5 bases line. I wonder if we change it though. So if we change this to 1.5 and then we go to odds. Okay, so it still goes to 0.5. Okay, so I was just trying some stuff out there, see if it changes. They're still working through some things, so I'm sure we'll be able to kind of filter some alternate lines here. Wife sent me a text. Just wanted to make sure that nothing crazy happened. But yeah, I would probably like if you wanted to do like a hit parlay, you could throw Wagaman in there at that 0.5 line. I think that's pretty much it from this game, though. Now, this is the one game that I actually haven't done any research on today, so I'm going into this just super raw. Just super raw here. Yeah, and so so I do want to explain this. We had a couple questions in the Discord today. So on the old site, when you come down here, you had little tabs here that you could do plus home and away against the pitcher. It's all still there, guys. You just hit this 2025 drop box here, this drop down, and there you have it. All the data still there. Versus Woo, versus right hand pitching, day games away, 2025 and a whole as a whole. So there you go. Who was pitching? So it was Darvish and Woo. How was he done against Seattle? Kind of a mixed bag there. How's he been this season? He's been pretty good, huh? He's been pretty good. Four runs against the Dodgers, which should be expected against a team of that caliber. Mr. Woo. Woo! Strikeouts aplenty for Mr. Woo. If he can do it against the Padres, he can do it against anybody, right? 5.5 line today. Getting a little bit of a suppressed line as well for Woo today, since he is drawing that Padres team. Doesn't strike out a whole heck of a lot. And I don't think we'll have a confirmed lineup out for them yet. Nah, we don't. But 2025 against right-hand pitching, you can just see they're just not a massive K rate. When you have a guy who struck out in less than 2% of his plate appearances this season, it's pretty incredible stuff. Tatis, these guys are just like middle of the road strikeout candidates, right? Uh, you've got a couple of guys like Cronenworth and Laureano with an above average strikeout rate, but I don't think that's enough really to warrant taking the strikeouts. Freddie Fermin, also a guy that doesn't strike out a whole heck of a lot. 22, 2020, meh. We would want those numbers to be a little bit sharper if we were going to take it. But if we can see anything that sticks out here, interestingly enough, the four-seam fastball from Wu is getting hit pretty hard, not getting hit for a ton of power. Let's see if it's mostly fly balls, right? Let's see if it's mostly fly balls. So 40% hard hit rate with a 32% fly ball rate, 26% line drive rate. So a lot of these guys are, I mean, look at this launch angle. Look at this launch angle and average distance on that fastball. So not keeping the fastball on the ground, fly ball pitcher. Obviously, you're out there. And so where are we at today? Whether we're in Seattle or San Diego, doesn't matter. These are both pitcher-friendly ballparks today. So you don't necessarily want to come in here and just target home runs. But if we had somebody that was just crazy against the fastball, which he's not, mostly a sinker. So he's going to feature the sinker a lot more than, well, I guess they're about the same, right? So sinker, fastball, sweeper. It's pretty incredible to me with this pitch mix how successful he's been this season. Is hit rate down? It shouldn't be down. It shouldn't be down. Let's see. So I'm able to look at it here. If you make sure that your sports books are selected, but I am still seeing the hit rater here. Are you on the news site there, Tyler? Should just be doinksports.com as well. Just for you. Are your books selected in the top right? Sometimes if you don't have any books selected, which I can't even save that to do that. So you have to have at least one book selected. Huh, interesting. Okay. Are you in the Discord, Tyler? I would throw that into the issues tab down there. Like if you want to go and send them a message, and they'll reply really quick. They'll reply really quick and have an answer for you. Okay, where was it? I had 3.doink. Yeah. Just do regular Doink Sports. Yeah. Gotcha. Yeah. So it took over. This site took over the main Doink Sports URL today as well. So good. Yeah, no problem, Tyler. Glad that we could get that fixed for you. I want everybody to be able to use it. But yeah, as always, if you do have issues, let me know. Let me know. I'll see if I can fix them for you. So he's just not going to throw the slider enough for me to really want to attack that. I'm mostly looking at a four-seam sinker ball hitter. Some sweeper stuff, but his sweeper's been really good. Luis Arise. Always can take Luis Arise on a daily basis. Just doesn't strike out. Puts that ball in play. interestingly enough, is not seeing the sinker really well this season. Just one strikeout. Just putting the ball in play right at people, right? Nothing really sticks out there. Mr. Manny Machado. Don't think he's going to stick out, but maybe he does. 263 ISO. So, okay, so he does. Did you go over Yelich? I can go over Yelich. I can go over Yelich. Let's do it. Let's do it. So this one would be somewhat interesting actually. So he is 0 for 6 against Brian Wu, right? But if we look at the stats, 393 against the sinker, 263 with the 263 ISO, and he's hitting the slider well. And these are really the main pitches you're going to see. How about the sweeper? 237, 13% of the time. Meh. But yeah, let's go over Yelich. We got about 15 minutes here, so if you guys want to spend the last 15 minutes and we can look at plays, we can go over any of the plays we've already gone over, or we can look at the night games. We wanted to look at Christian Yelich. So let's see. So Yelich 0 for 4 in his career against Ryan Nelson, but he struck out in 2 of the 4 plate appearances. But in the plate appearances where he made contact, he does have a 100% hard hit rate. So let's kind of look at it. He's swinging an okay bat, right? Multi-hit game in 5 out of the last 10. Couple of hard hit balls on the ground and a strikeout. So he just had one at bat against Nelson. Nelson pitched in the top of the 9th inning. What? That's interesting. All right, against lefties, he is going to feature 62% fastball. That is incredible. You don't see it that high that much. Yeah, I mean, look, anytime I see a guy that's going to throw a fastball almost 3/4 of the time against a guy who's hitting 312 against that pitch, I don't think you can go wrong with that. It doesn't seem like he's hitting it for a ton of power. And then how about the cutter? The cutter being the second pitch, 286, handling that well. Curveball, handling that well. Actually, really like Yelich today, just based on looking at this stuff. But as you can see, look at Ryan Nelson's fastball. Look at Ryan Nelson's fastball. It's really good. 191 average. That's 136 at bats and 191 batting average with a 118 ISO. Just 4 homers all season off that pitch. So his fastball is really good. That's why he throws it a lot. That's actually crazy. Just a 7% barrel rate on this fastball. 30% fly ball rate. 13. So the launch angle, I would want the launch angle to be a little bit better there if I was going to take a home run. But I wouldn't mind taking like a single for Yelich, or maybe looking at that 1.5 bases. Maybe looking at that hits, runs, RBIs line as well. We can see down here total bases. Plus 148 today is somewhat interesting. I would probably want to take this at DraftKings pick 6 here, minus 112. Don't know what the actual book odds are on it. 2 rank next. Yeah, let's look at him. Was he batting 6th? Or is he leading off? Surely he's not. Okay. 7th. Surely he's not batting 7th in the lineup. 0 for 2 with 2 strikeouts, but I think 2 rank's really been hitting the baseball a lot better of late. And really small sample here. This was 2 years ago. Only 1 plate appearance this year. He usually leads off. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. That's what I was thinking. I know against left-handed hitters, left-handed pitchers, he'll bat lower in the order, but 319 against the fastball. You love to see that right off the rep, knowing how much he's going to throw this thing. But again, it's tough to say. Okay, change up. We're only going to see it 7% of the time. When he throws it, it's getting torched. But change for seam and cutter, it stands to reason that he puts the ball in play, right? 319, 621 off the cutter. Holy. Do I have any favorites today? So some of my favorite looks today, and I'll go through them real quick here, are going to be Junior Caminero. Junior Caminero is going to be one of my favorite looks today. As you can see, just hitting the ball well. If we dive into some of the pitch mix stuff for Slade, He's going to feature that slider, four-seam sinker curve. And if we kind of filter this out, we see that he's handling the slider extremely well with a 365 ISO against a pitch that Slade's going to go to quite a bit. 30% there, he's going to that slider. Four-seam fastball, 266, 40%. Four-seam, he's got a 397 ISO, right? And another pitch he's going to go to is that sinker, 278 on that sinker, 260 ISO. If we look at Junior Caminero, Caminero, wait, JT's on fire this morning. What did he say? Did he say something, Michael? If we look at Junior Caminero's home runs, he's got 6 against the slider, 5 against the sinker, and 8 against that fastball. The bulk of his home runs have come off of this specific pitch mix, right? So that's kind of where I'm at there. Taking a look at Atlanta, I had a couple of looks here. I liked Michael Harris in this game. He's kind of gone cold in his last 4, so maybe take that one with a grain of salt. If you're doing straight bets, maybe go 0.5 units on Michael Harris today. I really liked Jacob Marcy here. I also liked. Wait a minute. Okay, I also liked Wagaman quite a bit. We can look at this as well. So he's going to throw mostly four seams, 47, four-seam cutter, curveball. Four-seam cutter, curveball. So four-seam, he is handling that pitch with ease, right? 341 ISO. Cutter, not too great. But curveball, 364 average. So obviously, if he gets just littered with cutters, he's probably not going to do too well. So that was Tampa Bay. Did we have any from the New York side? We had Cade Cavalli 15.5 pitching outs today. We had him at 15.5 pitching outs at plus 142. Really, really good plus money play here today. And the reason being on this one, guys, let's look at the splits. Just a 152 batting average against left-handed hitters. 152 batting average against left-handed hitters. Let's take a look at the Yankees lineup. They're going to feature 6 lefties and 1 switch. So 7 lefties are going to be in that lineup today. Just 2 right-handers, and that's Judge and Volpe. He's really struggled against right-handers to start his career. Again, this is a smaller sample size, just 22 innings. So it stands to reason that the right-handed one comes down a little bit. Maybe the left-handed hitters goes up a little bit, right? But based on what we can see so far, he's had what we call as a reverse split. Typically, the opposite hand do better against the pitchers, but for whatever reason, Cavalli does better against lefties. So I really like his pitching outs look today. Never going to fault you if you wanted to take Aaron Judge bases, Aaron Judge homer. He can do that stuff against anybody on any given day. That was kind of all that we had. Let me see the... So yeah, Caminero, Cavalli were the 2 that I mentioned. You have time for Lodolo, 3.5 hits allowed? Yeah, man. Yeah, 11:47. So we got about 10 minutes here. 10 minutes here if you want to look at some plays. I do have a hard out today. Typically, I can go over a little bit, but I do have a hard out. I have a meeting that we have to get to with the Doink Sports team coming up here at noon. We got some big things in the works for you guys as well. All right, so 3.5 hits allowed. He's facing the Dodgers. This is one thing I hate the most. I hate when the Colorado Rockies appear in your last 10. I hate it because it just skews the data so much, right? But even then, 3.5 hits allowed, that's a lot of juice for 3.5 hits allowed. How has he done against the Dodgers? So just 1 start, was earlier in the season, gave up 6 hits, did strike out 11. That's incredible from Lodolo. He has just been really good this year. He has been really good. Did give up the hits, though, right? In the game overview page, let's see if anything kind of sticks out to us. And Trevor, I'm assuming you would use this as kind of like a parlay piece, right? I'm assuming it would be a parlay piece type thing. Mookie Betts, I don't know how much you can trust him. Freddie Freeman's been red hot. Andy Pajes, Rojas. So not a ton of data there. I mean, you've got guys in this lineup like Alex Call, Rojas. These guys are just like on base guys, right? Will hit a bunch of singles. So you could probably get one from Alex Call, probably get one from Freddie Freeman, and then you're just looking for a little bit of variance. So I wouldn't mind that as a parlay piece at all. I'm probably not just straight betting minus 165 for that, but that's an interesting line, right? That's an interesting line. What's 4.5 at? I mean, even at 4.5, you're getting plus 140. Could be like an interesting ladder type. You don't typically see like hits allowed ladder, but if you were using this as a parlay piece, you could also straight bet this one at 4.5, right? And just kind of correlate your two slips together. So you have your parlay piece. He's going to be at 4, right, for your other one to hit. Well, then you're just asking for a little bit of variance within that start to get that fifth hit to put you over that plus 140 cash. Well, so I actually really like that. How does that look like that? Oh, okay, that looks like that because Otani is pitching. That threw me for a loop right there. I was like, what is going on here? But Otani's pitching, so I don't know if we have a way to filter it to look at his pitching stats. Let's kind of look. Let's look at some pitch mix stuff real quick, and this will probably be the last thing that we do, guys. Unless somebody has a play that we want to jump into real quick. I'm just going to go here. Look at this. 3 strikeouts for Otani against Lodolo. Interesting. Interesting. What's he going to throw me? So the curveball is his go-to pitch, right? The curveball is his go-to pitch. The bulk of his strikeouts coming off that curveball. Against righties, oh, that's against lefties. Okay, so against righties, it's really more of a mixed bag, right? Fastball's really good against righties. He's kind of been a reverse splits guy for the most part, right? Kind of been a reverse splits guy for the most part. Mookie Betts, 4-seam fastball, blah, hit a single there. Will Smith. This is a guy that just never respects my coin. I can't get this guy right for anything. Yeah, really like that. Really like that. I do want to see Freddie Freeman. And Freddie has just been so hot. Sinker 342, 324, 4-seam 333. Yeah, if you wanted to take Freddie Freeman today, never going to fault you. Just another one of those guys that, of course, they're going to look good. They're one of the best hitters in baseball, right? You can take guys like Judge, Freeman any given day, and they can go. Well, we like to see that though, Trevor. Couple singles. We just want hits, right? We just want hits. Teoscar, pretty good against lefties as well. Kind of a down year for Teoscar this year, right? But handling the 4-seam really well, handling the sinker really well. This is a pitch mix lineup right here. Pitch mix lineup right here for Teoscar Hernandez today. And look, and so you can also draw these direct correlations to it, right? So we see Teoscar's pitch mix lining up well against Nick Lodolo, right? Well, we come to the plate appearance logs, and we see that he just about took him deep. 366 off the bat, 100 exit velo. So you can kind of correlate those two together. No, the result didn't happen the way we wanted to, but he saw the pitch well, right? And in another ballpark, in another game environment where the wind was blowing out slightly farther, it was a little bit hotter, maybe that ball finds the seats, right? So these are some of the things that we can use to determine if it's a good play or not. So Teoscar might go today. Pages as well. Hard hit ball directly into the ground. 7-footer. 7-footer. Mr. Page is just displaying the wheels. That's pretty impressive to beat out a 100-mile-an-hour exit velo hit 7 feet. So my guess is he hits it really hard into the ground. That thing bounces just over the pitcher, kind of into no man's land. Just kind of tough to get to it. Alex Call. Yeah, and this is another guy. This is what I was saying. Just a guy that hits for average, right? 382, 286, 385. Just a guy that's going to hit for average. 2-minute warning, FYI. Thank you. You guys got me. You guys got me. If I get off this thing at like 11:57, all I got to do is switch tabs and get to it. I'll be fine. I'll be fine. I actually kind of like this Alex Call look today. 385 against the sinker. And we've got a hot forecast and the wind blowing out to dead center, by the way, today. I want to look at this. I want to look at this. What's Teoscar for a homer today? Plus 425. I might take that. Plus 142 for 1.5 total bases as well. Might have to jump that. I'm actually going to throw this 1.5 total bases into my bet tracker today. Dadgummit. All right. Well, let's just call it there. Let's just call it there. I was going to throw it into the bet tracker and I crashed the site. So, made a mistake. Really good stream today, guys. Enjoyed it. Enjoyed it. We will be back live tomorrow, and I think in the next day or two we're going to be looking at some college football stuff. If anybody's interested in that, we're going to be looking at some college football stuff. We're going to have some special guests on the panel with me, so you guys don't just have to listen to me yap for an hour. We're going to have a really sharp panel on. Guys that are diehard college football fans that bet college football. They have a decent following in the college football scene. You guys don't want to miss that. We don't have a time for it just yet. Still kind of working out some scheduling stuff for today or Friday. We are planning a Friday night stream as well. If anybody's interested and if you're lame like me and you're not doing anything on a Friday night at 9 p.m., come hang out in the Doink Sports live stream. We're going to be talking about that Saturday college football stream. And there's some really good nuggets that you're going to get in that stream. Hope everybody has a good day. Let's hit some bets.